Hey guys, I'm the Comics Kid 2099, and last week, if you will recall, I reviewed a big hardcover volume of The Incredible Hulk from the early 2000s, written by Bruce Jones and drawn by John Romita Jr. and Lee Weeks. And today I am bringing you, I guess, a sequel to that video. This is part 2 in Bruce Jones's run on The Incredible Hulk, and this collects, let me look, it collects 2 storylines. Well, the last one collected 3, but one of them wasn't written by Bruce Jones. It was written by Brian Azzarello. This one collects Transfer of Power, which is issues 44 through 49, and Abominable, which is 50 through 54. And one thing I want to go ahead and talk about right now, which I really should have mentioned this in my review of the first volume, this run, and specifically this era of The Incredible Hulk, was really informative on the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008. Now, this was about 6 or so years before that movie, but this was happening right around the time when the Ang Lee Hulk movie was getting ready to come out. So obviously, Ang Lee was not going to be reading comics that were coming out right then to try and figure out what he wanted to do with his Hulk run. He would have been reading stuff, if anything, he would have been reading stuff from a few decades earlier. But this stuff, there's a couple of things very specifically that made it into the Incredible Hulk movie. One, that whole thing about Mr. Blue and Mr. Green, that makes it into the movie. And in the movie, spoiler for what's ultimately like a 6-year-old movie at this point, in the movie, it was the leader, or the guy who eventually becomes the leader. He was Mr. Blue, and it is a different character in this run. It is not the leader. We don't find out in this volume who it is, but I have a very strong feeling that I know who it is, but it's not revealed yet in this volume. And also, there was a thing in the Banner miniseries written by Azzarello, which was also included in the previous hardcover volume that I reviewed last week, and in that, spoiler, Bruce Banner tries to shoot himself, puts the gun in his mouth, and then as he shoots himself, he hulks out, and the Hulk spits out the bullet. And that was in a deleted scene in the Incredible Hulk movie, and then also in the Avengers movie, they referenced that. So this whole run was very, it has a lot to do with kind of the direction that these more recent Marvel movies with the Hulk have gone, and that's kind of interesting. So if you are more of a Marvel Studios fan than I am, then maybe for that reason you would want to check out these volumes by Bruce Jones, the stories written by him. As far as this volume, really it's just more of the same, and that's not a bad thing because I personally am really enjoying what Bruce Jones did. There's a lot of espionage, a lot of really, you're not sure what's going on. There's some pretty major twists and stuff here. There's one particular thing here that happens fairly early on in this book, and then several issues later you find out, oh, it wasn't that person who was doing that, it was someone else entirely. And I thought that was really interesting because it made me want to go back and look at that scene and say, okay, that wasn't the guy who I thought it was. But really, if you enjoyed the first volume, if you enjoyed the stuff by Romita Jr. and Lee Weeks, then you will probably enjoy this. Now, this is not the same artist. This is drawn by, the first arc here is drawn by Stuart Immonen, who is an incredibly versatile artist. He has, in Next Wave Agents of Hate, he did a very, almost goofy, cartoony style, very, kind of like the Justice League International stuff from the 1980s by, I want to say, Kevin Maguire. Very, the characters almost, it's like a sitcom, and that, in large part, was thanks to the art by Stuart Immonen. But he's also done some very serious art, for example, in Superman Secret Identity and in this Hulk run. Very not comedic at all. You would not look at that and think that that guy had also done some goofy artwork. And then after that, we have Mike Deodato, who, if you are watching or reading the current Marvel event Original Sin, that's drawn by Deodato. And his art is fantastic here. Very atmospheric, and that's definitely the kind of thing that you would want for these kinds of stories with secret organizations and stuff like that. That's definitely the kind of art that you would want for this type of story. Now, that's not necessarily to say that that's the only kind of art that you would want in a Hulk story, because there's other kinds of Hulk stories that you can do. But for this kind of Hulk story, that's the kind of guy that you would want, I think. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say. Like I said, if you liked the stories that Jones did in his first 2 storylines, then you're going to like this because it's really picking up with more of that. You're getting a little bit more information here about who some of the players are, but really it's just a continuation. And I talked about that in my first review of his run, where it's kind of annoying. If you just picked up this volume, then you might be frustrated because there's almost a year's worth of setup for what's going on here. And in fact, all of this is also setup. It's all just a lot of setup where you're slowly finding out what's going on. And you might be upset at that if you're the kind of person who, if you want to pick up just a random issue of Hulk and you want that to be something that will stand on its own and you don't want to read almost 2 years of Hulk stories that will lead up to it, then that's very frustrating. And you need to keep in mind, if you want to read any of Bruce Jones's run, it's really an all or nothing thing. You have to start at the beginning and go forward from there. So keep that in mind. Don't try and read Volume 2 without reading Volume 1. That may seem like a given, a duh, but some people, for example, I'm the kind of person like that. Like, I might just see a Superman volume that's cheap somewhere and I might buy it, even if it's Volume 3, and I might just try and read it just to see how well does that stand on its own. Does it really need the first 2 volumes? And in this case, this series, definitely you do need previous volumes. That's about all I have to say here. So I hope that I was able to convince you guys to check this book out. I really think it's a lot of fun, and so far it's one of my favorite Hulk runs. Now, granted, I don't read a whole lot of Hulk, but from what I have read, this is one of my favorite runs so far. So keep all that in mind, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I will catch you tomorrow with a different kind of video. See you then.